Hey everybody, Challenger 2 here, and you join us today in the Crusader Discovery Center on board Providence platform. And today we're going to look at and talk about the Crusader's Industry C2 Hercules Starlifter. And we're going to get started right after the intro. Stay tuned. Overview and roll. CIG's sales page for the C2 says, utilizing the patented Hercules military-grade space frame and expanding cargo capacity while sacrificing barely any firepower, the C2 has taken the private sector by storm. It has become the industry standard for racing teams, ship dealers and manufacturers, construction orgs, mining corporation, and even large-scale touring entertainment outfits. The role of the C2 is industrial with a focus on heavy transport. Its size category is 5, which is large, and its dimensions are 94 meters in length, 70 meters in width, and 23 meters in height. Its max crew size is listed as 2 with a minimum of 1 crew member. Offense. The C2 Hercules has 2 pilot-controlled gimbaled size 4 M6A laser cannons and 2 remote turrets, each with dual size 4 M6A laser cannons. The C2 does not have any missiles. Defense. The C2 has 2 size 3 large Stronghold industrial grade C shields, 1 size 3 large Genzel industrial grade C power plant, and the C2 has 2 size 3 large Thermal Core industrial grade C coolers. Mobility. The C2's top speed is 963 meters per second, and its SCM speed is 135 meters per second. The C2's pitch is 28 degrees per second, yaw is 24 degrees per second, and its roll is 125 degrees per second. This changed with patch 3.14 and will continue to change as balancing continues. The C2 does have VTOL, and the C2 has a size 3 large, industrial grade C quantum drive. Its hydrogen fuel capacity is 20.2 million liters, and its quantum fuel capacity is 88,000 liters. The C2's stock quantum drive range is 2,277 megakilometers. That's enough to make the trip from Port Olisar to Microtech 39.9 times. Utility. The C2 has 696 SCU of standard cargo. The brochure states you can fit 2 Nova tanks, or 5 Ursa rovers, or 10 Cyclones in the cargo bay. You can easily fit more with a little creativity and willpower. The C2 has storage for weapons, personal storage for the crew, and EVA suit storage. Amenities include bunks, a lounge area, restrooms with showers, and a mess area. At this time, the C2 Hercules is not meant to be modular. Hey everybody, Charlie Niner 2 here on beautiful Daymar, and let's go ahead and get started with the walk around and walk through of the Crusader's Industries C2 Hercules Starlifter. Let's go. All right. First impressions of this thing is, man, is it a beautiful ship. It looks, let me walk a little faster here where I'm talking. It looks like you took a modern day jetliner and just kind of spaced it up, put some sci-fi engines on it, stretched out the body to like a delta type shape, and it gives it enough of a feeling of realism because it's something we can relate to with that cockpit up there looking like a modern day jetliner cockpit, mixed with the space style engines and shape overall, that it just gives it a feeling of this could be something that could be feeling of realism almost. And I love it. I just love the shape of this thing. It looks sleek. It looks imposing. It looks purpose-built. It's got a great color scheme. So the cockpit's up there at the top. And you'll notice right here is the front ramp. And we'll open that in just a minute. You have retro thrusters here on the front. Nice large retro thrusters, which for a transport/cargo vessel is very much appreciated. The ability to slow down is probably more important than the ability to start going in the direction that you want to go. You have these nice pass-throughs here. I guess that's just for for looks, but I love it. It gives it a big, beefy shape. You'll notice the entrance elevators over here. You've got your front landing gear here, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I do think that could be adjusted. And then you have your side landing gear here and one on the other side. And then these wingtips here actually fold down, and you can see here they are VTOL thrusters right here. And that's very helpful for a ship that's meant to transport ground vehicles as well as cargo. These VTOL thrusters are very much appreciated. Also, they just look really cool. Come to the back, you have two, I guess, tails, you would call it. To kind of balance out the ship and make it look like it's not going to tip over as easily. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can see up here 5, 6, 7, 8 main thrusters. And then up top you've got your rear defense turret on the dorsal, and then your rear defense turret here on the bottom of the ship. And then this is your main cargo ramp in the rear. All right, the right side is the same as the left, so let's go ahead and enter. And you can see here these pass-throughs here. We will enter in through the crew elevator here. So the elevator has a graphic glitch. Yep, as you can see there, the elevator itself, the body, the platform kind of comes down before the railing. That's not meant to happen, but it works nonetheless. All right, let's start off with the lower deck. Take a nice look up here. This ship has a nice level of polish towards it. It's one of the latest ships that's been released. And in my opinion, it's one of the closest ships to the promised concept as well, as far as the concept images and specifications. It mimics those pretty good. So let's go ahead. This is the cargo bay. It's nice and huge. You can fit 2 Nova tanks in here. Let's go ahead and open the rear cargo bay. Listen to this sound. Not the fastest ramp, but probably the most dramatic. All right, so we're going to head towards the front here, and we're going to open up the 4 cargo bay ramp. All right, we're going to open it. And there's the front ramp. So the cool thing about this is it allows vehicles, whoop, hopefully we won't flip over. The ramps are kind of pushing us around. But it allows vehicles the ability to roll on and roll off. So the vehicles can roll on with the front of the vehicle this way, especially important for things like tanks. And then when you come to deliver them to whatever location, they can roll off the front ramp here. So it's very helpful. Another cool thing, and this is something they're starting to implement into the ships, is lighting modes. So if we press this button here, you can see the lighting goes to a dim sort of lighting. So this is kind of like an operational lighting. And then you can actually turn the lighting off. And then with the lighting off, I love how the elevator is kind of outlined here by the bright spotlight above it. And you can imagine with the doors closed, it'll be even darker in here, but we're going to go ahead and turn that back on. I just think that's a cool touch that they did to this ship. Boom, lights back on. And I love how the lights are integrated into these ribs along the walls here. Another thing you'll notice is that you have a ladder here so that if you have a power outage of some sort, you can make it from the cargo bay to the upper deck and from the upper deck to the lower deck, which I just think that's a good touch. All right, so let's go ahead and take the elevator, hit the button here. And we're going to go to the top deck. And one of the things that hits you as you enter the top deck here is just how massive this ship is. You would expect it to be a little more closed off up here, especially for such a purpose-driven industrial design, but the fact that they left this central spine here kind of open between the top of the cargo bay and then the top of the hull of the ship here makes it feel a lot more open than it normally would. Otherwise, it'd be very cramped filling back here, and I think that's a cool touch. So let's go ahead and start looking at some stuff. To the front up there is the cockpit, but I want to point out a few things here. So you have life support here, which isn't modeled in the game yet, but here's the space for your life support system. But something cool here is you have storage. And this is crew storage, so you can put personal items and effects in here, which I think is a cool thing. Especially with the changes to the inventory system that are coming. Alright, you also have, can't do anything with that one. Here we go. There are a few other ones you can access here. Some more storage and more storage. So pretty cool. I like what they did with that. So coming from the elevator, let's go ahead and work our way to the rear of the ship. To the right over here, you'll see this is recreation. And you got some shelves. You got what appears to be, you know, a flat screen with a couch. Got Hitbox, Lost Lorana, the ultimate dungeon crawler. You've got some storage for food, so this is kind of like a mess / lounge area mixed together. You've got what appears to be, you know, cappuccino machines, microwaves, some other storage. Heat up your hot pockets. Come over here, eat them in the booth, and you know, got some nice books and stuff. So you have crew lounge area / mess, which is really good for a ship that, you know, only has a max crew size of 2. And then we can come on back here to the back, and you'll notice you've got what appears to be your main engine or your thruster over here. Then you've got your cooler on this side, large cooler. You've got a power plant on this side. Notice they're numbered. Power plant 1. There you go. And then down here, it says 5, no access, contamination risk, but you don't really have anything here. I think this is for the other variants of the Starlifter, the Hercules Starlifter here. You get this cool engine effect here. I mean, this is just cool to look at. And then as you go around, we're going to cross over the center here. This, I'm going to go ahead and knock it for. I don't like this giant godlight in the back. I get that it's trying to represent that this is like a power core of some sort. There's power emanating from here, but I just feel like it's too bright. But I do love the RGB ribbon cables coming out of here. As we continue across, you'll notice that just like the other side, you have a cooler on this side. This is your second cooler. Large size, if you couldn't tell. And then you've got your second... What is it over here? Not second. This is going to be your quantum drive here. But there's no second power plant on this one. At least I don't think. Or if there is, it's not opening. Huh. But you got your 2 coolers there. Alright, then we go to habitation. Let's check this out. Go ahead and open up. You've got personal storage. One of them opened. There we go. Personal storage. You've got what appears to be like some sort of a communications panel, or maybe even like a computer desk here with a Ursa Rover plushie. You got a bunk. Here's your other bunk, your other desk, and then you've got a water closet here. The panel is on the... Water closet's not working? Don't think they are. They're similar to the ones in the Mercury Star Runner in that they're shower toilet combos. Don't know why they're not working right now. They used to be working. Now they're not. Apologies, but you have bathrooms in there. And then as you come over to the front, you've got more personal storage. Tons of personal storage on this ship. And then this takes you back to the main area. Alright, just like the other side, if you look at these center panels here, you've got some more personal storage. There you go. More personal storage, and this would be your radar. There you go. And then nothing really along this wall, but you can walk along to the front, and this will take you to the area that leads you to the bridge. Now, as you go through here, you've got some components in here. So these are going to be lightning power here, and other side as well. There you go. There's your shield generator there. And another one on this side as well. Head forward to the front. You'll notice you've got armory. Weapon racks with weapon storage on this side and on this side. Quite a few, actually. More than I think you would need for the C2, but it's still nice to have. I won't complain. Along with EVA suit storage and escape pods, which I don't think the actual pod is in here yet, but this is where it would go. As you can see on the other side, escape pod, and then EVA suit on this side. Then we enter the bridge, and then here you'll notice we have components here. I would imagine this would be your avionics / computers. And then we've got a great looking bridge. I'm not a big fan of the view. I wish we had, you know, something to kind of look down and maybe something to kind of look up. So maybe a, whoops, if I can keep from falling out of the ship, but maybe like a viewport here and maybe a viewport down there would be very helpful, seeing as how this ship is designed to land and pick up vehicles and drop off vehicles very quickly. It's kind of difficult to see that with just this horizon of a view here. Left to right is fine, forward is okay, but up and down you're severely hampered. Now, another cool thing about this cockpit before we get into the seat is, look here. You've got like a pistol storage area here, which I think is pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and hop in the seat, if it'll let me. Here we go. And we'll take a look at the view. Ship is still kind of moving around a little bit. Hopefully we don't just blow up. But we have an MFD 1, 2, and 3 here. And then we got a couple MFDs in the middle there. Only one works for us, though. So basically a total of 4 MFDs. All right, you got your annunciator panel there. And then you can kind of see your view. It's not particularly great, but it's not unworkable either. I just wish if we looked down, we had some sort of a way to kind of see below us. Even if it's just like a little corner panel there near our foot and maybe near this other foot here, just to kind of help us land, help with the horizon, things like that, especially since you set up high above your landing gear. And then like a little panel up here, kind of like the Freelancer series has, would be very helpful for trying to see if the hangar doors are open and above your hangar. All right, let's go ahead and take an external view. There we are, landed with the ramps open in the front and the back, and you can kind of see how high we set above everything. Final thoughts. At recording, the C2 Hercules is available for $400 US as part of the annual ship showdown. However, the C2 can also be purchased in-game for just shy of 5 million Alpha UEC. What I like about the C2: one of the best looking ships in the game, and it's very close to the promised concept. The ability to roll on, roll off for vehicles with dual ramps is great. I like the expansive cargo bay that can be used in a variety of creative ways. The good shielding and maneuverability for a ship this size also makes it solo-friendly and safer space. And the decent pilot firepower opens up some gameplay options. Also, the extreme range, which is better than a Carrack, will be a huge selling point once more systems are implemented. My dislikes for the C2 are the cockpit view, which is fine for space but is more restrictive when it comes to landing, which in my opinion is a key function of this ship given its role. As far as real-world money, it seems overpriced for a cargo/vehicle hauler, though the Alpha UEC price is good compared to similar ships like the Caterpillar. I also get frustrated with the C2's tendency to tip forward when landed. Changes I'd recommend. I would recommend improving the landing visibility, maybe add some floor windows and some ceiling windows as well for seeing if the hangar doors are open. Fix the forward tipping issue with maybe moving the landing gear forward, maybe an extension or something like that. That's all I have for changes. Do I recommend the C2 Hercules? Well, if you're interested in vehicle transport and only vehicle transport, and you want to invest 400 US dollars into Star Citizen's development, then sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. However, if you're interested in cargo hauling and not so much the vehicle transport aspect of the C2, then you may want to consider the Mist Hull C, which, while it's not in game yet, does cost 250 US dollars and should have about 6 times the SCU of the C2. You may also consider the Drake Caterpillar, which is currently in game, and though it only has 576 SCU, it costs $295 and will be modular. You may also look at the Mist Hull D for 350, which should have around 20,000 SCU, which is about over 30 times the SCU of the C2. And you may even consider the Manu Merchantman, which, while it's priced higher at 500 US dollars, will have about 3,584 SCU, over 5 times the SCU of the C2, and also adds shops, and you get the C2 as a loaner to use during the Manu Merchantman's development. My recommendation is to buy the C2 with in-game currency. If you wish to transport your Nova tank or your Anvil Ballista, this is the way to go. Hey everybody, Charlie902 again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.